I am on vacation this week, and actually, well, I'm on paid time off for my job, and I wanted to have a staycation, as the title of this video suggests. This is the first time that I've had a full week off since we moved here that we did not have plans to go somewhere else. So my first full week staycation in Atlanta, and we have a lot of fun plans, so I wanted to blog about it. And if you watch my previous video through to the outro, this scene will look very familiar because I literally got done filming it just now. So this is me from the future, past, I don't know. But I just love this, my Halloween tablescape so much that I want to absorb it a little bit longer. But it is actually, so the funny thing is I set up this whole scene for my last video. It's 9:30 in the morning on a Monday morning when I would normally be starting work, but I don't have to go to work. And so I get to spend the week doing some touristy kind of things in Atlanta and pursuing more creative things. So I think I want to make like five videos this week. And I don't know if I'm going to get to all of them. And if I do, I'm going to release them probably week by week to buy myself time to make more videos. But the first thing, so I decided to take the week off because Derek has a couple days off from school. He's off school today and tomorrow. So, but I decided to just take the full week because we're about to go into our busy season. So I wanted to just take a week off, decompress a little bit before the holidays, and be able to enjoy October a little bit more, being able to do whatever I want for a whole week. So we have a lot of fun things planned that are like on the spooky vibe side. The first thing, not a spooky vibe thing, it's we're gonna hike Stone Mountain today. So I'll vlog a little bit about that. And then we're going to go to the Museum of Illusions, which Castor and I were looking at date night ideas of something we could do fun together, kind of on the spooky vibe side. And that came up and we saw it. We thought, well, we can't not take Derek to this. So we're gonna take him tomorrow for that. Then I would like to go to the Oddities Museum that is like on the north side of the city. I've been to the thrift store side of it, and I went to thrift to like look at the spooky things they had there, because they have a lot of really cool, like grotesque, like gothic things. And they're like, do you want to see our museum? And I said, well, I'm on my lunch break, so I don't have time today, but I definitely will come back. So we're gonna do that this week. And then Friday night, the date night we did decide to have is a vampire themed pop-up bar, and it's supposed to be like vampire vibes. And we're gonna do that with my cousin and her boyfriend. So lots of fun things planned. And I have other little crappy things planned. I don't know if I'm gonna put that in this video because I might make a whole separate video about them, but lots of fun things. And I'm excited to get started on my week off. We're about to start our hike at Stone Mountain. We decided to do this as our workout today instead of going to the gym. So let's get our workout on. Yep. It's a gorgeous day. It's only about 71. The sun's really strong though, but it's not humid. So the last time we hiked up here, it was so humid. It was a little bit more miserable. So this has been really nice. It's kind of busy, obviously, because it's a holiday. But one of the things that always strikes me whenever we hike up here is how quiet it is. Like the sounds of like the road, because we live near a highway, and like you kind of don't realize how much ambient sound is just out there, but then up here it's so high above everything that it's like it seems so much quieter. So there's like the sound of people talking. There's like a bug like around us somewhere, but like other than that, it's so quiet and it's really peaceful.
The snacks are worth it.
Yeah, we always get snacks at the top because we earned it. The other thing I wanted to mention is I was curious if we'd see any hint of leaves changing for fall. And I feel like there's like a slight yellowish tint to the trees that we can see, but I think it's because of drought. Like, it's been extremely dry. And I was reading an article about how the leaves are falling off trees around here, but not because it's actually been cold, because it has not. It's been so dry. So Derek and I have decided we're gonna try to hike this once a month instead of like every few months. And then hopefully we'll be able to see some leaves changing if we hike in a few weeks.
Last time, like, it was not last time that we hiked, but it was like the first time we ever came to the top of this mountain. It was like there was like a yellow hue over the entire.
Oh yeah, that was the pollen, I think.
Yeah, like I can't remember what it was. It was like somebody like
I think it was in May or June.
Yeah.
No, the first time we came was in the spring, so that definitely would have been pollen.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
It's Staycation day 3. It's Wednesday. Derek is back in school today, so it's just me with the day off, and we don't have any plans to go anywhere. We actually have someone coming to take a look at our floor in the pantry where we had a leak from the hot water heater, so I need to stay around the house. So I think I'm just going to spend some time just relaxing. I want to work on my next diorama. So a couple videos ago, I showed the start of making a diorama just like on a whim, picked it up at Michael's, and I loved it. I will show it a little bit later, the finished product, but I ended up getting 3 more and I'm gonna start working on the next set. And And this one looks like it's gonna be pretty fast because the first two that I made had a lot of books, which you have to like glue the covers on. But this one doesn't have as many books, so I think I'll be able to finish this pretty quickly. And then I'm gonna do some reading, which I took the dust cover off this book, but this is Isabella Nag and the Pot of Basil, which I've been seeing everyone on YouTube reading. It's a small book. I just finished my October book club book yesterday, which was really good. And it was called Home of the American Circus. Very good book, loved it. But I wanted a quick read that was still more like Halloween-ish before going into the November book club book, which is very long, and it's set in the winter, so I'm not ready to get to winter yet because it's still like 80 degrees outside here every day. So that's my day. I'm gonna probably pop on some movies, but before I can get into any fun things, I really need to fold some laundry, which I normally do on the weekends, but because I knew I had the week off, I said, oh, I'll do it later. Like, there's no rush to get it done. And now here it is Wednesday, and we haven't folded clothes yet, so I need to do that. I'm gonna force myself to do that first before getting into fun things. But got my coffee, my little pumpkin mug, got my pumpkin shirt to just embrace the October season and make myself feel warm and cozy while I'm doing my chores before I get into fun things. Took a quick lunch break to let my hot glue gun heat up because I'm going to need that for my next few steps. And I want to eat my caramel apple that I got from Kilman's yesterday, the place where we got ice cream, and the paper is stuck to it. So, and when I'm trying to peel it off, it looks like the caramel's going to come off with it. Like, all the caramel's gonna be gone. And to me, caramel apples are like a quintessential fall treat. Like, if I go to the fair, I always get a caramel apple because they're delicious, and it's just such a fall thing. Like, to the point where I was like, the fair isn't, I'm not actually sure where the fair is now in Georgia, but when we lived in Tennessee, there was a fair that came to town in August, which is early for fall, but still, like, I'd have my caramel apple at the fair, and that would be my one for the year. So I was considering trying to learn how to make them, and then when we went to Kilman's, they had what they called the perfect caramel apple, and I left it in the little bag overnight, and see, like, the caramel is coming off on the paper. So, like, I wonder if I freeze it, will that make the paper, like, yeah, I'm gonna try that, and then hopefully, yeah, because I want to eat this caramel apple. Okay, so I Googled it before I did anything, and it suggested to actually heat it up, not freeze it. So I ran it under hot water for a few seconds, and the paper peeled right off. There's a little bit that got stuck. So yeah, and it preserved most of the caramel, and now I can eat it. It's Thursday, staycation day 4. It's actually pretty late in the afternoon because this one kept us up last night. She has an upset tummy. So I've just been snuggling with her. I did have to take Derek to get a haircut, but then just came back to chill with her. Castor and I had plans tonight to go to a basketball game, but I don't want to leave her in this state because I don't want her to have another accident in the house. She's had a couple so far. So my plans for today got a little thwarted, but I might be able to make up for it tomorrow or Saturday. So it is day 5 of my staycation. It's Friday, which means it's almost over. And I'm trying to make up for not getting stuff done yesterday that I had planned, but I am finding myself, I don't know if anyone else does this, but you put things on yourself as imperative, like I have to do this, I have to do this, I have to do this. And I've been trying to like get myself to accept that I don't have to do anything that I had planned today. The only thing I really want to do still is go to the Oddities Museum. I want to, first of all, it's attached to a thrift store. That's how I found it. But now I want to go actually see the museum and do a little peruse around the shop to see what they have. That's the only thing I feel like I have to do today. And so I want to give myself plenty of time to come home, get ready for the vampire pop-up bar. So I want to do my hair and makeup. I do need to go to Target or somewhere to get some lipstick. I want to do like more bold makeup than I typically do. Like I don't think I own any lipstick anymore. Like I just don't wear it. So, but I do want to wear some tonight, so I want to go look for that. So let's go to the Oddities Museum. Well, first I set these here for a reason, and then I totally forgot to reference them. So this is the set that I made the other day on Wednesday, which I totally forgot. I did not. The frog kind of like got stuck in a corner, and I realized I didn't put it in there. So I added the frog, which it's a huge frog compared to the other stuff in the set. So like, it's like almost the size of the cauldron, and it's like, it wouldn't fit on the stool if you wanted to put it on the stool. It's very large, so giant frog. And then I think on Wednesday when I left off, I said I was gonna be done with the crafting and start reading, which I did not. I was watching movies. I watched both Beetlejuices, and I just kept on. And I ended up finishing my 4th set, which is the greenhouse, which this was my least favorite one to build. It was extremely messy. So, and it looks messy. It has like the moss, and you were supposedly supposed to like glue this green grassy stuff onto the vines, and that was extremely difficult. So I ended up just gluing it all over, and because it's going to be on a shelf anyway, so it'll kind of get a green hue, like if lights, because my vision is to have lights like to light up each scene. So it was my least favorite one to build, but I like how it turned out overall. Like I think it's cute. I think it will go with the rest of them. Now let's go to the Oddities Museum. The next few minutes are pictures from the museum side. It's only $10 to get in, and they said we could take as many pictures as we wanted, but I just didn't want to walk around video recording the whole time, so enjoy the still shots. Oddities Museum was so cool. I loved it. I could see myself going back again. Derek didn't want to come because he didn't want to leave the house, but I think I'm glad he didn't come because I think it might have given him nightmares. Like, I could see him saying, no, I don't want to see any more of this. The amount of two-headed animals that have been taxidermied, like, is amazing. But it was really cool. If you live in Atlanta, or if you're ever in Atlanta visiting, definitely check this out if you like creepy, macabre, gross things. Like, it was so cool. This is my garlic initiation shot.
Once you guys go, you want to continue, I'll wait for that time. Now, before we start our next piece, I have a quick question. Has anyone in here heard about Mr. Bram Stoker?
Yes.
Yes, and I'll for those who know. If you do not know, Bram Stoker is best remembered for releasing Dracula upon the world. Yeah.
It's Saturday, which means my staycation is technically over, and now it's back to regularly scheduled chores to get ready for the next week and to go back to work. Just a recap for the vampire bar, because I stopped taking footage at some point. It was so much fun. Like, it's the most fun I've had in a long time. I'm so glad we did it. I was a little bit sketched out, like, when we first bought the tickets, because the address looked weird, and then there was some confusion for, like, they emailed me one address and, like, they'd updated it, but then the app where my tickets was like a different address. So we went to 2 different locations. The first one was wrong. Then we ended up at the right place, and we were, like, there right as soon as it started. But the atmosphere was so cool. The drinks were pretty good. And it was just overall a really fun time. And I'm so glad my cousin and her boyfriend got to come. They had to drive a little bit to get there, but I'm really glad they were able to make it. So if it's a pop-up, it's not like a thing that is you can just go to anytime. So if you look up the Vampire Cocktail Club, it'll tell you the dates and, like, what cities it's going to be in. So if you're in a city where it's going to be, highly recommend. Super fun. And I think from what I read that it changes, like, it's not the same every single time. So if you've been before, maybe you go again and it would be something different. Because the things they did, so in the beginning they talked about the history of vampires. There was, like, a little skit, like a one-man monologue kind of ghost story kind of thing. Then I think they did more about the history of vampires, and then they did, like, a little trivia contest where it was, like, 2 halves of the room, and they picked people who were self-proclaimed vampire experts to, like, compete and, like, answer trivia questions, but then they were also able to crowdsource some of the answers, and I think our side won. It was hard to tell. By then it was, like, I think that was after all the drinks had been given out, so it was a lot of woos going on, a lot of cheering, but it was the atmosphere amazing. Just overall, the actors, the performers were excellent. So I would do it again. If it came back around, like, I would go to it again. And so now, because I'm back to my regular chores, Casper and Derek are out of the house today. So I would typically just do chores, and I was going to watch Over the Garden Wall. It was going to be my Over the Garden Wall marathon day as a rewatch, as like a cozy thing to do. But now, because of all the vampire stuff, now I feel like I need to watch either Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the show, or Vampire Diaries, which I have not seen either one. Buffy, I feel like, was a little bit before my time. Like, it started coming out when I was like in elementary school, middle school. So it was like a little bit, like I was too young really for Buffy. And then Vampire Diaries started coming out right after I graduated high school. So that was a little bit, you know, past my time. Because I think I would have been into both of them had they been like, if I had been at the perfect age range at the time they started coming out. Now, True Blood, I was a True Blood person, loved the show, read all the books, loved the books. And I've thought about doing a rewatch of that, but I don't know if I'm in the mood for a rewatch of True Blood. But I think I might watch Buffy today, like start a marathon of that, because it's that late 90s. Like, I feel like it's going to be nostalgic, even though I've never seen it. Like, it's going to feel nostalgic because of the time. That late 90s, like middle school, 97 to 2000 peak. Like, that's like probably is like peak nostalgia for me. So that's what I'm going to do today. Thank you so much for hanging out with me through my staycation, and I hope I've inspired you, if you live in Atlanta, to visit some of the places that I went, or if you are visiting Atlanta, to take some time to visit some of the places. Check out the Vampire Cocktail Club wherever you live or can travel to reasonably. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.